In 2007, the entertainment world was shaken by a shocking revelation. Hollywood Truth magazine claimed to have uncovered a secret notebook belonging to Burt Lancaster, one of the most revered stars of the Golden Age. But it wasn't a memoir, nor a gentle reflection on his cinematic journey. Hidden within its pages was something far darker, a chilling blacklist. This list carried the names of Hollywood's brightest icons, whom Lancaster described as the most malicious figures the industry had ever produced. Why would a man celebrated for his integrity choose to expose these secrets in his final years? And what sinister truths lurked behind the glamorous facade of old Hollywood? Tonight, we open the notebook and reveal the shadowed legacies of 7 legends who both defined and defiled the Golden Age. Elizabeth Taylor, the hidden storm. Elizabeth Taylor captivated the world with her beauty and brilliance, but in Lancaster's eyes, she was a storm behind the eyes. On the set of Cleopatra in 1962, she famously locked herself away for nearly 14 hours over a dispute about a costume's color. Filming ground to a halt, costing thousands. When the furious director demanded her return, Taylor hurled a glass of wine straight into his face. But tantrums were only the surface. Lancaster believed Taylor had mastered the art of manipulation. Her marriages weren't fairy tales, they were battlegrounds. With Richard Burton, she was said to have seized control of his career, pressuring producers into bending to their will. She knew her worth, and she wielded it like a weapon. To Lancaster, Taylor was far more than a temperamental starlet. She was a hidden force of Hollywood. She was Hollywood's undisputed queen of manipulation, a woman who bent the industry with an iron will wrapped in velvet allure. Natalie Wood, tears as a weapon. To the world, Natalie Wood was the image of delicate fragility. But Lancaster insisted it was a carefully crafted act. Her tears, he claimed, were not signs of weakness but instruments of control. On one film set, she staged a fainting spell, halting production for hours until her demands were met. Co-stars she disliked found themselves quietly pushed aside, their careers derailed under her silent influence. And then came her death, ruled an accident in 1981, but forever haunted by whispers. Lancaster hinted at something far darker. The sea did not kill her, he suggested. It merely swallowed what she left on shore. To him, her final years were a maze of manipulation, threatening, controlling, cornering those closest to her. True or not, Natalie Wood's passing remains one of Hollywood's most haunting mysteries, a tragic curtain call for a life woven from beauty, power, and intrigue. Kirk Douglas, a predator in human skin. Kirk Douglas embodied cinematic heroism. From Spartacus to countless leading roles, he was the face of defiance and strength. Yet, according to Lancaster's notebook, beneath the armor of legend lay a predator. His reach, Lancaster claimed, extended far beyond the silver screen. Douglas meddled in casting choices, pressured producers, and punished anyone who dared resist him. One disturbing account recalled an actress being stripped of a major role in 1959 simply for refusing his invitation to dinner. Lancaster went further, accusing Douglas of turning narcotics into a weapon, buying them, distributing them, and using them to secure obedience. In public, he radiated charm. In private, he allegedly ruled through fear. Lancaster's verdict was merciless, a predator in human skin. To the audience, Douglas was a symbol of freedom. But to Lancaster, he was a man who would crush anyone bold enough to defy him. Mickey Rooney, cruel behind the smile. Few stars were as universally adored as Mickey Rooney, the eternal boyish face who delighted audiences for decades. But Lancaster's notebook painted a far more sinister portrait. Off-camera, Rooney was no charmer. He allegedly mocked extras and minor actors, humiliating them for his own amusement. His private life, Lancaster claimed, was darker still. Wives were treated less like partners and more like captives within their own homes. One shocking incident in 1967 described Rooney striking his wife on set for arriving late, silencing the entire crew with disbelief. Behind the mask of laughter, Lancaster wrote, lurked a man who thrived on domination and humiliation. To millions, he was comedy embodied. To those closest, he was torment dressed as entertainment. Lucille Ball, laughter with a razor's edge. Perhaps the most startling revelation in Lancaster's notebook concerned Lucille Ball. To America, she was the queen of comedy, a radiant smile whose laughter filled homes across the nation. But at Desilu Studios, Lancaster claimed she ruled with an iron fist. She allegedly kept exhaustive notes on her employees' mistakes, firing anyone who erred 3 times. Writers were summoned to meetings only to be mocked and humiliated in front of their peers. More chilling still, Lancaster suggested she had hidden microphones installed to spy on her staff. To the public, Lucille Ball was a beacon of joy. But behind the curtain, Lancaster described her as a ruthless monarch, her laughter edged with steel. One chilling account described a script hurled back into its writer's face as Lucille Ball laughed mercilessly, mocking his effort. "That laughter once saved CBS," Lancaster wrote, "but it also shattered the spirits of dozens who served under her. Her smile could build empires or destroy lives." Marilyn Monroe, the black hole of Hollywood. Perhaps no figure was more iconic than Marilyn Monroe, but to Lancaster, she was not a victim of fame, she was its weapon. On the set of Some Like It Hot, Monroe would vanish without explanation, leaving cast and crew stranded for hours. Lancaster insisted she had perfected the art of weaponizing fragility. She didn't merely seem delicate, she turned that image into a source of power. Beyond the studio walls, Monroe allegedly manipulated Hollywood's elite through secret affairs. Lancaster pointed to her relationship with Jack Warner. When he pushed for her to work with another leading man, she staged an emotional breakdown so severe that the entire production bent to her will. To the world, Monroe was a tragic star undone by pressure. To Lancaster, she was the black hole of Hollywood, a force that pulled everything around her into disorder and ruin. Errol Flynn, the devil in a gentleman's suit. Errol Flynn was the picture of Hollywood gallantry, a daring Robin Hood, a swashbuckling hero. Yet Lancaster's words stripped away the charm, exposing what he called the devil in a gentleman's suit. Behind the glittering smile lay a world of excess. Flynn's infamous parties, Lancaster alleged, were rife with drugs, violence, and exploitation. Whispers of trafficking and abuse clung to him, but the law never touched him. Shielded by money, influence, and carefully cultivated charm, Flynn evaded justice time and again. For fans, he was romance and adventure personified. For Lancaster, he was a monster draped in the disguise of nobility. Joan Crawford, violence at home. On screen, Joan Crawford was the embodiment of elegance, statuesque, commanding, unforgettable. But in Lancaster's notebook, she was something far darker, the woman who spread fear. Her daughter Christina would later echo these stories, recounting cruel punishments, from vicious beatings with a coat hanger to humiliations for the smallest mistakes. Crawford's violence was not random, it was methodical. Lancaster claimed she ruled her household with a brutal mixture of manipulation and abuse, turning her home into a place of dread. Perfection was not requested, it was demanded, and failure brought pain. To audiences, she was a queen of Hollywood glamour. To Lancaster, she was a tyrant who believed fear was stronger than love. The Notebook's final message. Burt Lancaster's secret notebook was not a memoir, nor mere gossip. It was a warning. Behind Hollywood's shimmering golden glow lurked storms, predators, manipulators, and tyrants. The very stars who defined an era on screen may have ruled their private worlds with cruelty, obsession, and fear. Exaggeration or truth, Lancaster's message remains the same. The golden age of Hollywood was built not only on talent and beauty, but also on shadows, secrets, and scars. So which revelation struck you the hardest? Was it the heroes exposed as predators? The icons who ruled with iron fists? Or the stars who turned fragility itself into a weapon? Share your thoughts below, and remember to subscribe for more untold stories from Hollywood's hidden past. Because what you've heard tonight is only the beginning.